Hello my YouTube family, are you ready to try something new today? I filmed this entire tutorial from start to finish of this castle in the sky so that you could watch me try something new for the very first time in hopes that I can inspire you to try something new for yourself. I've got peony, fluff, daisy, mermaid tail, cobalt blue, blueberry, and then I do have like a neon red here as an accent that's in acrylic. But the rest of these are chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle. All right, so now that you've got all of the colors that are in my tray, I'm going to show you how I'm just going to mix them up and start working on the sky. And now you may notice that this is already painted black. I did use the Terra paint in Onyx to give this entire armoire a base coat because I like the dark black peeking through when I use bright colors. So I base coated it with Onyx, and now I am just using this is just a standard Home Depot paintbrush. I believe it's about 3 inches wide. I've got it held at a sideways and using it at a sideways action here and just moving in circles. Joni teaches circles from right to left and left to right. So Joni Young Art is actually the person that I watched do this on canvas, and I loved this look so much that I just watched a few seconds of it and said, no, I'm doing this. And I brought out all of my colors that I could get to match her colors as best as possible and decided what she did on canvas I was going to put on furniture. So I am super thankful for it. I learned a lot, and I hope you will enjoy watching as I work on this cloud scene. So the pink color that I used at the top there, that's actually a combination of peony and fluff that I used on my brush simultaneously. And right now I am using blueberry and fluff simultaneously as well, just sort of double dipping with the brush, if you will. And then I moved on down there and I started adding in mermaid tail. And then you can see that I'm dipping with a little bit of fluff as well. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. There's no measurement. You just play with the paint in your tray. Pull all of your colors out, have them available for you, and then you can just start adding them in. Now you can see here that I am adding a blue color, which I've also dipped with fluff at the exact same time. Now this blue is actually cobalt blue, which is a very, very strong and bold blue. So I've got a lot of fluff mixed in at the same time. I'm not wiping off my brush. I'm not rinsing off my brush, and I'm using the same brush the entire time from start to finish here. So every once in a while you'll see a little bit of the teal move its way into the blue, and a little bit of the blue will move its way into the teal. Now the difference with painting on a furniture piece versus painting on a canvas is you do have the cracks and crevices like the door hinge there, the trim work. You do have to kind of work those into your scene a little bit. So now I am moving down further, and I'm using a heavier dose of cobalt blue this time. So you can see that I've got cobalt blue, more cobalt blue at the bottom with very little fluff, but I really wanted to deepen this super, super dark at the bottom. So I went ahead and picked up my jar of In the Navy. I did not have that in my tray originally. So now I've added In the Navy, and I am going to carry this up and around the base of this armoire, just as Joni did on her canvas piece. Now this has been quite a workout on the arm, I'll tell you that. So I'm moving in circles clockwise and then counterclockwise over and over and over. Every once in a while I'll do a little bit of cross hatching, but mostly I'm circling to the right and circling back to the left, and then adding a little bit more paint, circling one direction and then the other, kind of keeping that brush at a sideways angle. So I had the bottom painted a light color. I thought I might add some stripes on this, but once I got started, I was like, nope, we are not doing stripes. I'm just gonna bring the skirt of this little mini wardrobe right up into the design. So I'm just taking the In the Navy and a touch of cobalt blue down into the base as well. So at this point, it's really just up to you what you want your cloud scene to look like. So you'll notice every once in a while I sort of sit back and look at it and decide, was that too dark? Was it too heavy? Obviously I thought it was. So I have added some fluff to my brush, and I'm bringing those lighter colors down a little bit further into the bottom. I didn't want to make it just super, super dark and dreary. So I'm just bringing some of my cobalt and fluff down into the bottom of that a little bit, and it makes it a little bit blurry, a little bit dreamy looking. So here we go. This is with no blending done. This is the full armoire in all of the colors, and now it's time to go in and start doing some more definitive clouds. So now I've picked up one of my Dixie Belle round brushes. This is the, I believe this is the medium or large oval brush by Dixie Belle. And I am just doing that same exact action or movement that you saw earlier. I'm moving from right to left and left to right. I also have a spray bottle, so I'm just spritzing the water a little bit as I go, because I want to start adding, I want to bring clouds forward. So we've got the depth with the dark color, and then I want to start bringing some of that dreamy, foggy look towards me. So I'm using a lot of fluff on my brush and a lot of water. So I'm not adding any real color back to my brush, mostly just fluff, and then spritzing water on the paint so that it sort of reactivates itself and moving in circular directions. Okay, so I've done that exact same thing that you saw me do at the bottom. I've done it in each color section with just fluff and a little bit of water, and I worked my way up to the top of the armoire. You can see some sort of grayed out areas there where I brought that blueberry color over into the pink. So now I've picked up just about a 1-inch flat brush that I am adding some hard edges to clouds here. These are very, very definitive clouds now. So I'm just holding it at an angle using quite a bit of water and a little bit of white paint on the edge of my brush. I know my arm gets in the way there, but I'm just gonna let you watch as I sort of work these colors in. There's a little bit of white on one side of my brush and a little bit of pink on the other side of my brush, and then I just start blending them together. If they don't blend the way I want, you saw me spray with the bottle right there. Look at that. It just blends right together, and I can make myself a pink cloud with a white edge. Now, I've done clouds many times. I love painting clouds. I'm inspired by clouds every single day. So I really enjoyed watching Joni make clouds as well, and I tried to use a few of her techniques here. They're a little bit different than mine, but I was really, really inspired by her. So again, you saw my brush there. I was dipped a little bit of white and a little bit of mermaid tail, and I just work my way across, making a hard definitive line with that color. And I'll continue to do this down even into that blue area as well with the cobalt blue and fluff as well. So I don't know about you, but I have vivid memories of cloud watching. As a matter of fact, just today, I was talking to my 16-year-old daughter about it. She was asking if I remembered playing on playgrounds, and I said I remember laying in my next door neighbor, my best friend's front yard, staring at clouds and you know, naming the shapes that we could see. And here I am today, still just madly in love with painting clouds. And I mean, I guess I should say that in those days where I spent doing all of that cloud watching and cloud naming, I never, ever, ever in a million years imagined at 57 years old, I would be painting furniture with cloud art on the front of it. You know, it's crazy when we look back and think about our life and how we realized that it was all very well planned out, and those were like formative years for a reason, on purpose. So I think that's pretty cool. You may remember a piano armoire that I did probably about a year or two ago. It has purple and teal and pink clouds on it as well. I have a feeling that I'll be adding a lot of clouds to a lot of my larger furniture pieces in the future. There's just something so incredibly therapeutic to me as I paint them. Not only is it fun to just watch them form right before my eyes and be able to manipulate them with my brush and the paint, but there's just something very, very calming and fulfilling about it. And there we go. My clouds are done. We've got in the navy all the way through mermaid tail and the pink peony and the blueberry. And I am ready to start this design that I am following Joni with. So she suggested watering down some yellow paint. So I'm using my daisy that I had. She said to water it way down. And she said she knew it was scary, and she's not kidding. You just put it right on top of your cloud scene. So I honestly think that my yellow was not watered down enough, because I had to add a lot of spray to get it to be see-through. Otherwise it was covering too much of my clouds. So I ended up just adding a lot of spray and blotting off with paper towels as well. And then I used my mop brush to just continue to spread this out. And this is going to serve just sort of a glow inside the cameo that we're going to create here in just a minute. So I just continued to work at it with a little bit of water and using my mop brush. I believe I even used my Best Dang wax brush here in a minute. I just didn't want any hard edge on, I just wanted the yellow to just sort of disappear. You can see that mop brush sometimes leaves bristles, and I have to kind of get at that with my finger. But I just wanted the edges to be soft and the glow to be very believable. And I just kept working at it until I got it as transparent as possible. Okay, so this is the part that's really, really new to me. This is this castle scene that Joni created just out of her mind. Looks like a castle, and a piece of the earth has just been carved out and set to float in the sky inside this cameo here. And so this part I really don't know that I can walk you through so much, but I definitely can share parts of it with you that I feel were kind of mind-blowing to me, or so super easy. Why hadn't I thought of that before? I had lots of those moments while I did this. So while I'm painting, you guys, I want y'all to know something. I am painting with my favorite music on. I am alone. I let my husband and my daughter know that I was trying something new and I did not want to be interrupted a lot, or really at all. So I set myself up. I make a date with myself to learn something new. So that's something that I want to inspire you to do as well. Now this part here where I was adding that brown, not the reddish brown I'm using right now, but where I was adding that dark brown and then just taking the brush and dragging it down, and it looks like dirt just falling from the chunk of the earth. That was so simple and just blew my mind. Like, why don't I do something like that more often? And how can I incorporate this into my own work? So just so truly inspired. And I hope it's something that you will try as well. This was also a lot of fun, winding this vine around the frame here. If it's something you've never tried, I hope that you'll try that as well. So we've kind of jumped ahead here, and I've already added the trees and the forest and the lighter yellow color, which is going to be one of the highlight colors that's really going to help make this look more lifelike. Isn't it amazing though how I'm just painting right over all of that hard work on those clouds? You can see the clouds on the inside of the cameo, and just know that those are going to be completely covered. So it might be hard for you to do that, but I encourage you to try it because the end result is pretty amazing. So now with just a little liner brush and using the dark coffee bean paint and a little bit of the burnt umber, I am making trees per instructions. I've already done them on the other side. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You just want to sort of be free with it and make branches, because you're going to actually build tree limbs on top of these. Okay, I want to tell you about those pink flowers on the tree, but I can't. I got to tell you to watch the waterfalls. Look at waterfalls. What? It's just a little 1/4 inch rough brush. You just run it to the side and then drop it straight down. How amazing is that? And they really do look like a bunch of miniature waterfalls. So I did them in the blueberry blue, and then I re-dipped with just a tiny bit of white, and just to sort of add that frothy look that you see on waterfalls, and accentuating each waterfall. I'm sorry for the videography. That's me holding the camera with my left hand while I paint with my right hand, but I really wanted to get in nice and close so you could see the detail of the waterfalls. Okay, our castles are going down now. We started out with 3 pillars. We will actually end up adding a 4th pillar, and then tiny little tops on them. It's just amazing to me that this is so simplistic. I mean, it's so elementary. And then in the end, you have something that looks like this. I will suggest, for a much better tutorial, try Joni Young Art doing this exact same thing on canvas, but here it is on a miniature wardrobe that I pray will end up in the hands of a little girl who wants to play make-believe and dress up, and that this will be a magic world for her to do so. And that is it, my friends. Do you not find this magical? I absolutely love it. I enjoyed doing this so very much. Thank you to Joni Young Art for being such a wonderful teacher. I do hope that you will go check her out. Please like and subscribe, because I will be back next Sunday with a new video, a new tutorial just for you. In the meantime, I hope you go make some magic of your own.